Hola a todos, aquí Tony 22 380. Continuamos con los crímenes de ABC. Y bueno, en el capítulo anterior estuvimos hablando con todos los afectados de los anteriores casos, para ver si conseguíamos alguna pequeña deducción. Descubrimos que los casos estaban relacionados con el tema de la garganta, de la voz. Una tenía un antitusivo, la otra era cantante, también tomaba. El que ha muerto es alguien que es un especialista en el tema de comprobar la voz. Que al asesino le gustan los ferrocarriles. Y ahora estamos en la casa de donde murió el tercero. Bueno, no murió aquí, murió afuera, en la costa. Y estamos investigando un poco. Vale, ya que no está el hermano y la mujer que cuidaba a la madre del primero. Vale, vamos a ver qué podemos hacer. Conseguimos un anillo de este de aquí, el que
A
pone
signet ring bearing the Clark's family's coat of arms. A number is written on it.
que pone 1587. Me costó un poquito hacer el puzzle de la caja. Y creo que ahora nos toca otro puzzle complicado, seguro.
Best to leave her to sleep now.
¿Mejor dormir? Ah, pues entonces el puzzle estaba aquí. Es que ahora no me acuerdo bien. Creo que este anillo va aquí.
The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies.
¿Y los trofeos de Franklin? ¿En los trofeos de Franklin, en serio?
Australia.
No puede ser. O sea, o oso o zarpa. Y aquí hay o uno u otro. O sea que esto da exactamente igual. Abajo. Estos son tipos de patas de pájaro. Ya que, por ejemplo, esta no se puede mover, lo voy a dejar aquí. Esto parece un humano. Uy, no, 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 espérate, vamos abajo. ¡Vamos abajo! Lo voy a dejar aquí. Vamos a salir fuera. Sí. Eso estaba en los trofeos, quizás. Porque si vamos a hacer suerte, eso sí que no lo vamos a acabar en un tiempo.
July 1920. Alaska Peninsula.
Mira, tenemos estos símbolos. En Alaska, voy a coger para apuntármelo en un papel, porque si no, no voy a poder hacer esto. Tengo algo de memoria, pero tanta no. En Alaska es una pezuña de oso. Vale.
February 1922,
Sudáfrica.
South Africa.
Sudáfrica, pezuña de gacela. Bueno, más que Alaska, pezuña de oso sería pata de oso. Bueno. Habían más cabezas de estas.
April 1925, Aceh Province, Sumatra.
Sumatra. Sumatra, pata de tigre. Bueno, pata de león. Leona. Pero me queda ahora una tercera cabeza. Hay una cuarta. ¿Y dónde está?
I am not going to leave.
Tampoco no he mirado esta zona, ahora que lo pienso yo, ¿eh? Podemos dar vueltas por aquí.
A dark dragon for a bright-haired maid. C. I've already seen similar daggers. Attention, Franklin. Task list. A. Ordering Lady Clarke remedies. Done. B. Tidying up real estate property files. Done. C. Calling the lawyer about inventory. Done. D. Update the tenant-farmer list. Done. E. Update land rent accounting. Done. F. Ordering a restock of arsenic. Done. P.S. I have left on the living room table some of my things I don't want to keep. The locket and the dagger. I am sure you know why. Thora.
Vale. Sí, este lo habíamos visto, ¿eh?
Compass, point to the south. Bronze and magnetite, Han Dynasty, circa 210 BC, purchased in Hong Kong 1935. There are some very valuable objects.
Sur está arriba.
Traditional Chinese map. Facsimile. South is on the top of the map.
No he encontrado la otra cabeza de animal.
Sir Carmichael's collection could rival that of a major museum. The door is locked.
¿No tenía una llave?
This unit contains the medical records for Sir Carmichael Clarke's patients. Let us study them closely and see if there are any familiar names. No dust on the records from A to D. They've been handled recently. No known names. Disappointing. Lots of dust. The records from E to Z have not been touched for years. No known names. Disappointing.
De aquí era la daga que hemos visto.
I see some papers that were not there the first time I visited. These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here. Valuers report property. Building land located in Comside, Churston client, Sir Carmichael Clarke, April 15, 1935, Court and Brunskill office. Court and Brunskill. The name is familiar. Is that not the name of the firm Donald Fraser works for?
¿Dónde trabaja el sospechoso de la muerte de la de la arena?
Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clarke, MD, Comside, Churston, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely frank. Lady Clarke, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first exams. But with the test results I have received today, there is unfortunately no place for doubt. I estimate that Lady Clarke's life expectancy is no more than 1 year. Hospitalization would not help in her case, so I advise you to keep her at home and provide her with as much morphine as required to ease her last moments. Yours sincerely, Ernest Logan.
Eso está abierto.
Order and method above all. Let us finish examining the mansion while no one is around.
Creo que no me dejo nada por aquí, ¿eh? A ver, este libro.
Comside's private collection. The catalogue for Sir.
Este lo hemos mirado también. No encuentro nada más y de arriba no me deja ir.
The Black Dragon's Curse. To Franklin, who will never grow up. January 25, 1928. Car Charlotte.
Este trofeo dragón negro. Arsénico trióxido talium.
Miss Thorogray, Comside, Churston, Devon. Arsenic trioxide thallium. I am not going to leave Comside now. I still have some things to do.
Vale, pues entonces volvamos dentro. Y ahora toca resolver el mapa. Porque aquí no hay ninguna pieza más por ahí que yo sepa, ¿no?
Franklin Clarke appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveler.
Y aquí, no, se repite lo que he dicho.
Franklin
Vale,
Clarke appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveler.
Vale, tenemos tres símbolos. Hay 4 zonas, acordados, arriba, abajo, izquierda, derecha. Pero también decía que el sur es arriba, o sea que a lo mejor nos estamos equivocando. Vamos a saltar.
The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies.
Vale, teníamos Alaska, Sudáfrica y Sumatra. Había uno que a mí me faltaba. Pero por ejemplo, esta no cambia. Está siempre igual, entonces supongo que será más animales de ese estilo, ¿no?
South Africa? South Africa?
Sudáfrica. Aunque Sudáfrica...
South Africa?
Sudáfrica. Esta debería de ser esta. A lo mejor lo demás da igual. Si no, lo que importa son estas de aquí. Por ejemplo,
Australia.
tengo que buscar Sumatra donde está.
Alaska.
Alaska. Alaska era una pata de oso. ¿La tiran lejos? Vamos abajo.
Brasil.
Hay como una pequeña línea aquí. A ver, voy a buscar en Google. ¿Dónde está Sumatra? Sumatra. La isla está en Indonesia, o sea, Indonesia está por la derecha. O sea, esto está aquí.
Sumatra.
Ahí en Sumatra tendría que estar la pata de la leona. O sea, este de aquí. O sea, tendría que ser Sumatra aquí, este mínimo. La pezuña esta. Y le doy. Y aquí no sé. Este creo que está bien.
Alaska.
Ya tengo los 3 sitios, pero me falta algo. No tengo ni idea. Yo creo que algo me tengo que dejar, ¿eh? Algo me tengo que dejar. No lo sé.
Brasil.
Brasil puede ser que me deje algo. ¿Quieres salir, hijo?
Helmet, flask.
No.
Franklin Clarke appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveler.
Pero es que no encuentro una cuarta figura. Y yo creo que tiene que haber otra más. Como no sé la pista esté en el espejo o yo qué sé.
I've finished with this subject. Order and method above.
Es que no. Pienso que tendría que haber a lo mejor
Sir Carmichael's collection?
otra cabeza, pero no la. No la encuentro. No. No sé dónde está. De arriba no me deja ir. Arriba dice, está durmiendo.
Best to leave her to sleep. I am not going to leave.
Pues voy a tener que. Y si le doy a las neuronas esto, a ver si me sirve de algo. Que todavía no lo he usado nunca. ¿Está bien?
The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies.
Bueno. No puedo usar aquí. ¿Visión?
The African kudu.
De África.
South Africa?
¿Ya no me deja moverlo?
Alaska.
Hace como una chincheta. En Alaska era una pata de oso.
Alaska.
Voy a utilizar indicios. No me deja usar un indicio. Buah, de aquí hasta que me deje usar un indicio va a tardar.
Sumatra.
En Sumatra era la pata de leona. Esto ya no me dejo verlo.
South Africa? Sumatra. Sumatra.
No sé hacerlo.
Australia.
Bueno, mientras que voy esperando que pase de tiempo para ir una pista, voy a ver cómo se hace por Google, porque es que no lo sé hacer. A ver si encuentro algo por ahí por internet. Vale, ya he buscado el tema este y a ver si sale. En teoría sería, creo que es pezuña este de aquí.
Sumatra.
O sea, porque está bien. Este y este por aquí. Este por aquí.
The Lion of Sumatra.
El león de Sumatra. Y este.
The Alaskan Koje Bear.
Creo que
I
había que
heard
colocar al
the
revés.
sound of a mechanism.
Creo que había que colocarlas al revés.
Strange way of protecting one's safe. Triangulating one's hunting sites on a map.
No me fastidies esto. ¿Y ahora? Triangulando. ¡No! No podré hacer esto en 1578, por probar. Está intentando ver si hacían algún ruido diferente, pero... Yo pensé
A
1587.
signet ring bearing the Clark's family's coat of arms. A number is written on it.
Bueno.
These documents are very likely going to help me for the rest of the inquiry.
No funciona. Bueno, en el puzzle de las pezuñas hemos fallado, pero porque creo que el truco era lo de sur es al norte o algo así. Entonces hay que colocarlas al revés, me parece. O algo así. Y esto pues lo hemos hecho bastante rápido.
A dozen gold sovereigns. Some shares for the Southern Railway and some treasury bills. This is not worth much, hardly enough to justify your robbery. 12 gold sovereigns, some shares for the Southern Railway and some treasury bills. This is not worth much, hardly enough to justify your robbery. 12 gold sovereigns.
Bueno, repite una y otra vez.
Charlotte Clarke, Comside, Churston, Devon. To Mr. Franklin Clarke, Peninsula Hotel, Salisbury Road, Chimchatsui, Kowloon, Hong Kong, Comside, 1935, January 1st. I wish you with all my heart a happy year 1935. Writing my greeting cards, I have affectionate thoughts for you. Always smiling as a child, sailing to distant countries and bringing back to us trunks full of wonder. At home, everything annoys me, starting with this young Thora Sir Carmichael is so fond of. I have nobody to share my feelings with, so I write to you. How can I tell you what happens to
Año de
me?
vida.
The simplest way the better. I am doomed. I still have 1 year to live, no more. How do I know? I opened the secret drawer of Carmichael and read a letter not addressed to me. In this letter, Dr. Logan tells my husband in the most direct way the truth he conceals from me. Sir, I know, but my husband doesn't know I know. Please don't tell him. And if he shares the truth with you, act as you are surprised. Carl will probably speak in his usual convoluted way, but I wanted to be the first to announce it to you. It does matter to me that you are aware of what happens in Comside. Warm regards, Charlotte. Eton College School Year 1912-1913, Franklin Clarke. School report for Franklin Clarke. According to his teachers, Franklin was a good student, but lacked discipline.
Yo creo que lo había mirado, pero...
Sir Carmichael Clarke, Comside, Churston, Devon. To Mr. Franklin Clarke, Peninsula Hotel, Salisbury Road, Chimchatsui, Kowloon, Hong Kong. Comside, 1935, January the 12th. Dear Franklin, first, I wish you a good start to a successful new year. I have received your letter dated December 10th. Thanks for defending my interest against Wang, this robber. Things could have got pretty bad if you weren't a real cold-blooded guy. I envy you for that. Things go on here much as usual. Charlotte is moderately free from pain. I wish one could say more. You may remember Thora Gray. She is a dear girl and a greater comfort to me that I can tell you. I should not have known what to do through this bad time but for her. She has an exquisite taste and shares my passion for Chinese art. No daughter could be a closer or more sympathetic companion. Life has been difficult, but I am glad to feel that here she has a home and true affection. You wrote me you want to stay in China for 1 more year or even longer. I don't object. The longer you stay, the more opportunities you will have to increase our collection. Nonetheless, you should know that we miss you here, and that Charlotte will be gone by the time you come back. I am, dear Franklin, your truly affectionate brother.
Creo que ya está todo aquí.
Best to leave her to sleep now.
Entonces, ¿qué tengo que hacer?
I am not going to leave Comside now. I still have some things to do.
Es que no creo que me quede nada por hacer, ¿eh? No creo que me quede nada. A ver. Todo esto ya está pensado, por lo tanto no tengo más células grises que hacer. Ah, sí que nos deja salir de aquí.
Where is the horrible smell of carrion coming from?
¡Ca, ca, ca! Cara sus. Son cuervos. No está muerta.
Brown pellets. Revolting. Tut-tut. The gardener does not follow the alignment.
No
There,
está bien
that's
ordenado.
better. It is symmetrical.
Ganaste cristal de Celsius 133.
There, that's better. It is symmetrical.
Bueno.
Something makes me feel...
Es que hay algo raro, porque parece como que está removido esto, ¿eh?
There, that's better. Brown Revolting.
Bueno, por aquí no hay nada. Bajemos. ¡Ca, ca, ca! Oh, qué bonito. Mira, 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 qué guau.
This fountain makes a very relaxing sound. This wisteria is in full bloom.
La glicina creo que son las ramas estas que quedan para abajo.
I would like to congratulate Clarke's gardener. What symmetry!
Que ya lo he mirado todo porque creo. Está aquí. Que no me dejaba antes, le estaba pasando y no me dejaba.
It was probably the gardener who lit this fire.
Este es el olor.
Look here. I wonder if someone wanted to get rid of these papers. This object will probably be useful to me. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
¿Por qué Zora dejó en Kemset objetos que le pertenecían? Bueno, dejó una carta adjunto. No falta nada en la vitrina de Carmichael. Zora no quiere que la acusen de robo.
Everything that Thorgray has left behind comes from Sir Carmichael's collection. He most probably gave them to her, but she chose to leave them here rather than run the risk of being accused of theft. It is understandable when you know just how much Lady Clarke mistrusted her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
¿Zora es una envenenadora? Ostras. Esto va a ser complicado. Le voy a poner el botón derecho porque quería leerlo. A ver. Esto va a ser complicado, a ver. ¿Dora es una envenenadora? Creía que era una manipuladora. Doctora Gray nunca pensó en envenenar a Lady Clarke.
Thorgray had no reason to kill someone who only had few months left to live. The poison she ordered was for rats. The gardener must have made good use of it, considering the stinking remains on the path, not far from the property. I've finished here. I must put the skeleton key back and inform Hastings that I'm returning to London.
Tenemos que devolver la llave. Mal tiempo que hace. Como ahora mismo aquí.
May you have peace, Carmichael. Charlotte.
Qué rápido han puesto uno de estos. Han puesto una cosa aquí en poco tiempo. No me puedo ir. Llamar por teléfono a Hastings. Vale, pues entonces tengo que volver a casa.
Clarke's greenhouse. It must hold some rare plants.
Debería dejar en la leona la llave, me ha dicho, ¿no?
April 19.
Estaba aquí debajo de la leona. Toma.
Perfect. Nothing else is keeping me here.
Bien. ¿Qué es eso que tenía que hacer? Y llamar.
Hello, Hastings? I have finished in Shurston. I will take the first train. Tell me, do you know how to restore writing on a burnt document?
Yes, you just have to soak a cloth with a hydrochloric acid solution and rub the sheet of paper. Then the characters appear.
Bien. You have been of great assistance, Hastings. Could you please order the solution as soon as possible?
Of course, but what documents do you want to read?
You will see, my friend. À ce soir.
À ce soir. À ce soir.
Donald Fraser is here. He insisted on waiting to see you.
Había una pequeña relación entre Donald Fraser y el último caso. Vamos a verle.
This man is tired.
Ojeras. Bebe como un cosaco. Ropa arrugada. Sin afeitar.
Donald is short of sleep, and it looks as if he didn't even bother to undress before going to bed.
Bueno, cuando uno es vago se puede ir a la cama sin cambiarse.
Mr. Parte, I don't know why I'm here.
You wanted to talk, and you came to find the only man capable of hearing you.
Mr. Parte, since Betty's death, I've doubts about myself. I don't know what to do. And I keep having a horrible dream 3 nights in a row.
Have a drink and tell me about this dream.
It's always the same. I'm on the beach with Betty. I grab her round the throat and I squeeze and squeeze until she's dead. Her head falls back and I see that it's no longer Betty. It's Megan's face.
Have you seen Megan Barnard recently?
Yes, our grief has brought us together. I never really knew her before. She's really quite a remarkable girl. But I would never tell her about my dream.
Why not? Is it her you are attacking in your dream?
No, it's Betty. And once Betty is dead, it's Megan's face that appears in its place.
Very interesting. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Es complicado, que está zumba perdido. A ver, vamos por partes. Lo mejor es que tiene doble personalidad. Vale, Donna no mata en sueños, Donna está muy enamorada de Betty y a Donna le gusta Megan. Donna empieza a sentirse atraído por Megan.
Mr. Fraser, I think that the real meaning of this dream is that you are in love with Megan Barnard.
Please go on. Do.
This dream certainly betrays your guilt.
Oh.
But what do you feel guilty about? Having killed your fiancé? Possible. Or forgetting her very quickly for her sister? Certainly. And this forgetting is perceived as a second death.
Interesante.
So you don't really think I was the one who killed Betty?
I do not exclude this theory. I am simply saying that I do not need to know that fact to explain your dream and your guilt.
Thank you for being frank, Mr. Poirot. You've helped me a great deal. I'm going back to Bexhill. I'll not take any more of your time up.
It is late, Mr. Fraser, and you are tired.
I'll sleep on the train. I like trains. It's easy to sleep rocked by the sound of the wheels.
Al asesino le van los trenes.
Poor boy, he seems completely lost.
Well, women seem to like him. I think Megan will take care of him. Oh, I remember. Did you order the product I needed?
Yes, we'll be receiving it tomorrow.
Bien, it is late, and I asked Miss Gray to come tomorrow morning. I have a few questions I wish to ask her.
Vale, tendremos que recomponer la carta.
Mademoiselle, I asked you here in order to answer a very important question.
La que se fue a Londres, la que pensaban que cogía y estaba asesinando a la otra.
You lied to us, and I demand to know why.
But what are you talking about?
Yet, Lady Clarke maintained that she saw you talking to a stranger on the front doorstep.
Really? She must have been mistaken. Oh, I remember now. I'd forgotten all about it, but it wasn't important. It was just a salesman. One of those traders who sell stockings from door to door.
De medias.
Can you describe him to me?
Medium size.
Del malo.
Glasses. Dark suit and a felt hat. Not the sort of man you notice. Completely harmless. That's why I forgot all about him.
Nothing else?
He was very hesitant and shy. Usually door-to-door salesmen are very confident. But he wasn't.
Vendedor de medias. No sé que le vendió las medias a la otra persona. Bueno.
You also forgot to tell me that you had been fired.
You never asked me. It was Franklin who led you to believe that I left voluntarily. He's more chivalrous than you. I don't wish to lie. Lady Clarke did not appreciate my presence. And Franklin could not go against the wishes of a sick lady. He is a good man, and he worries a great deal about his sister-in-law.
I noticed that you left some personal belongings behind at Churston. It was too risky for you to keep these objects, am I correct?
Risky? What was the risk?
La maldición del dragón puede ser. Acusada por ser la del crimen puede ser.
You know very well what Lady Clarke might have said if you had kept these objects.
Indeed. These objects were gifts. But Lady Clarke would have been convinced that I'd stolen them. By returning them, I put an end to such evil gossip.
Bien. I must ask you one last question. Please reply frankly with either yes or no. If Lady Clarke had died, would you have agreed to marry Sir Carmichael if he'd asked you?
How dare you ask such a question? Sir Carmichael treated me just like his daughter. And all that I ever felt him was affection and gratitude, nothing else.
Thank you, mademoiselle. I will not keep you any longer.
Vale.
I met Thora Grey on the stairs. Her cheeks were ablaze, and she appeared to be deeply hurt. Poirot, have you offended the poor girl again? Do you have good reasons for accusing her?
I accused her of nothing, Hastings. I simply asked her an important question she did not answer. Let us see if we can answer it for her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
¿Toda se habría casado con Sir Carmichael si este no hubiera muerto? Una seductora no. Es complicado, ¿eh? Todavía se quedó para liquidar los asuntos de Carmichael. Sí, Carmichael Clarke estaba muy unido a Thora Grey. Pero no. Porque Thora siente aprecio por Frankie. Thora se muestra evasiva en cuanto a su relación con Carmichael y Thora es una seductora no. Thora tampoco. Complicado. Sé que tenía que ver algo así Vamos a probar con este. Solo me queda hacer esto porque ya no... No sé cuál es. No lo sé. No lo sé. Bueno, Zora es una seductora. Estamos probando a suerte ya, a voleo. Es que claro, Zora se habría casado con Sir Carmichael si este no hubiera muerto. A ver, pero es que Zora siente aprecio por Franklin, o sea que... ¿Puedo usar el comodín de la llamada? No, he utilizado el indicio y no me sirve de nada aquí. Pero para nada. O sea que... caca de vaca. Bueno, pues vamos a hacer... Vamos a hacer de la forma como se hacía antiguamente. Así se hacía antiguamente. Estos tres. Zora quería casarse y seguramente lo habría logrado. Con estos tres.
You must know how to read between the lines, Hastings. When Sir Carmichael refers to paternal affection, he's lying to himself. Read this engraving on the brooch. A dark dragon for an angel with glossy hair. These are the words of a lover, not a father. Lady Clarke was not wrong.
What if Sir Carmichael had fallen in love with his secretary? That doesn't mean that she forced him to do so.
True, there are extenuating circumstances. She is a penniless orphan. But she's calculating. Just look how she avoided it when asked if she would have married Clarke.
I see. You think she seduced Sir Carmichael for her own gain, and that now she is doing the same with his brother. Poirot, your world is a very dark place.
Do not get carried away, mon ami. We have another more important matter to settle.
Really?
Yes, would you believe that Miss Grey taught me something new?
¿Es qué?
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Martillo de Thor. ¿Pero qué ha descubierto? ¿Hay algún otro punto común entre los asesinatos? Ostras, pues sí. Es bueno. Lo que decía.
It's perfectly clear, Hastings, perfectly clear. Indeed, a stalking seller visited Andover, Bexhill, and Churston on the day of each murder. We have our suspect. This should be of interest to Jap.
Vale. Llama por teléfono a Jap.
Chief Inspector, we are looking for a stalking salesman.
I see you have a suspect.
Yes. Contact all the stocking wholesalers who may employ him.
Your suspect is a salesman?
No, he does not take orders. He sells door to door.
Right. The hunt is on.
Se abre la veda. La de Doncaster. Es como tiene las vendas, las medias de seda.
Are you leaving, Mr. Cust?
Yes, I'm going to Cheltenham.
You shouldn't travel today. You don't look very well.
I have to. I have engagements. I must respect them.
Este es el hombre seductor que sacó esa persona a la playa.
Can you get the post, Hastings?
And why don't you go and get it yourself?
Très bien. What's going on? I've never known Hastings to be so disagreeable.
Ir a buscar el correo. Todavía seguimos en el capítulo 3,
Poor Mr. Poirot. I'm quite sorry for you. If at first you don't succeed, try again. We've a long way to go still. Typery? No, that comes later. Letter T. The next little incident will take place in Doncaster on September 11th. So long. ABC. I should compare this letter with the one on my desk which I received earlier to see if it does indeed come from the same person.
Coincide, ya lo estoy viendo yo desde aquí. Lo veo claramente.
Let us examine this more closely.
Tenemos el ABC.
Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory. Yes, this I is weird. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects.
Después será la W.
I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Que la W era borrosa.
The W is not printed properly. Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter. Hastings, he strikes tomorrow. Chief Inspector Japp?
He's on another line. Can I take a message?
Yes, please, mademoiselle. It is from Hercule Poirot. Tell him ABC strikes tomorrow in Doncaster. He must call me back.
Very well, sir.
Bien, now I'm going to see what I can find from these burnt documents. I've received the product I need. Hastings, if you do not mind, I would like you to take a few notes.
Yes, yes.
Descifrar los documentos quemados.
If someone has tried to get rid of these documents, they may be important.
Vale, aquí de momento no. Supongo que esto lo tendré que hacer en la mesa, ¿no?
I've finished with this subject.
¿Cómo se hacía? Descifrar los documentos quemados. Voy a descansar un poquito.
Royal Mathematical and Statistical Society's Bulletin, September the 9th, 1935. The alphabet murder, a methodical madman. It's highly probable that the alphabet murderer will kill again. Could we possibly estimate the number of victims in his next crime? Yes, and it is easy. As soon as we know the ratio of towns, cities and villages whose names begin with a D and the ratio of English people whose names are spelled the same. On the one hand, the ratio of towns, cities and villages in England with a name starting with D, and on the other hand, the ratio of English people with a name also starting with D. After this initial calculation, it is easy to deduce the likelihood of actually being murdered if you belong to the target population. Go to the last page to find our results and details on the calculations. Daily Blag, August 31, 1935. Moustache at half-mast. Poirot's repeated failure in ABC case. Sometimes small things troubled great men. Hastings, faithful corroborator of the Belgian detective, knows something about it. 3 mornings in a row, he confided to us, the cook broke the egg yolks when preparing Poirot's breakfast. This apparently casual event has greatly disturbed my friend, to the point it breaks his concentration and slows his judgment. I also noticed his moustache, of which he is so proud, being duller than usual.
Poirot, I assure you I haven't said any such thing to the journalists.
Pedrada.
They twist everything.
Le va a la salsa rosa a Hastings, ¿sabes?
So, how are you getting on? I'm ready to take notes.
Pues no sé cómo tengo que hacerlo. ¿Le tengo que dar esto a este o...?
Now, down to work. What of this needs putting in order a little?
Vale, aquí hace falta un poco en orden. Entonces, pues... ¿Esto se gira o...? Vale, este se mantiene aquí. Entonces... pues no va a ser tan complicado, creo yo, ¿eh?
This page will be reconstructed.
Esto no es tan
This
complicado.
page is child's play. This page is finished. That's done. 3 more to go.
Esto es fácil. Esto...
This page will be This page is child's play.
Sé que le da algo.
This page is finished.
Creía que iba a
And
ser
that's 2
más
done.
complicado.
It's easier than I thought.
Creía que iba a ser más complicado, pero no.
This page is child's...
No te voy a dejar hablar porque voy a acabar esto rápido. Bueno, entonces está aquí, está aquí.
This does not look too difficult. This page is finished. Only 1 more. Keep going.
A ver.
This page is
Vale, pues entonces esta aquí como arriba.
This piece should be placed here.
Esto aquí.
This does not look too difficult.
Esto aquí.
This page is finished. All the pages are reconstructed.
Vale, pues entonces, ¿qué tengo que hacer? ¿Echar esto?
A bottle of solvent. A bottle of solvent. A dry cloth. All the pages are reconstructed. A bottle of solvent. A dry cloth. A bottle of solvent.
Es que no sé qué quieres que haga con esto.
A dry cloth. A dry cloth.
No.
A bottle of solvent.
¿Qué quieres que haga yo con esto? Lo pongo aquí. Lo pongo aquí. Le doy
A
doble.
bottle of solvent.
Lo pongo esto con esto.
A bottle of solvent.
Vale. De hecho ahí.
The cloth is now soaked with solvent.
Y ahora cojo esto, ¿no? ¿Paso por encima? ¿O sí?
Got it! Make a note, Hastings, make a note. Mrs. Alice Asher, shop owner in Andover.
Tracheitis.
Tracheitis, hemoptysis, prescribed laudanum.
I got it. Look. Poirot, where on earth did you find these files?
On a fire at the bottom of the garden at Campside.
All right, but where did the person who burned them find them?
En la oficina del otro.
Alice Asher, shopkeeper in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, chronic cough with loss of blood. Prescribed laudanum-based cough medicine. Betty Barnard, waitress
Son los
in
nombres
Benson.
de los muertos.
Chronic bronchitis, causing dysphonia.
Disponía.
Advised to stop smoking. Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
El malo.
While wounded, mustard gas and head trauma.
Gas mostaza.
Pulmonary emphysema. Hemoptysis. Coughing fits with blood. Suffers from absences and amnesia. Dick Dudley Dunbar, owner of the Black Swan Hotel in Doncaster.
Este hombre.
Asthmatic, heart disease, heart condition. Let us now try and get our brain cells to
Dick
work.
Dudley. En Doncaster. Va a morir. ¿Dónde provienen los documentos quemados? Pues viene de los historiales médicos de Sir Carmichael Clarke. Vale.
The burned documents are medical records, and without a doubt they come from Clarke's archives. First of all, because all the patients have throat conditions. And secondly, their name starts with either A, B, C, or D, and it is precisely the files that match these letters that have been tampered with.
But why burn these files? How come the names of the two victims appear on them? And who are the two other patients?
These are very good questions.
Vale. Teléfono.
Hello, Poirot?
Any news, Chief Inspector?
You wanted a stocking seller? We have one. Reported by his landlady, who thought he was behaving suspiciously. He has the most unbelievable name.
Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
Yes, Alexander Bonaparte Cust? How did you guess? Poirot, you have magical powers. It's a serious lead. I called Doncaster. A person matching Cust's description has been seen at the station. He got off the train from London, but after that, nobody knows where he went.
El Black Swan.
Look for him at the Black Swan Hotel.
What? How do you know he's there?
Trust me, Chief Inspector.
You appear to be very sure of yourself. Very well. I'll call the Black Swan straight away. The owner is going to get a shock when he learns that there's a murderer under his roof.
Do your best, Jap.
You can count on me.
Hastings, everything is at stake. With a little luck, our main suspect will soon be under lock and key. So, has Cust been arrested?
Yes, the Doncaster police are sending him by train.
That is good news. But why so gloomy, Chief Inspector?
Well, when I told the hotel owner that he was sheltering a murderer, he collapsed.
He's dead?
No, fortunately, but it has taken its toll on him. It has to be said that with his name starting with the letter D, he had every reason to fear Cust. I bet he was going to be the next victim.
Come now, Chief Inspector. He's at the hospital and the doctors are taking good care of him.
You think so?
Of course. Do not feel down, Chief Inspector. Let us focus on our investigation.
While we're waiting to question Cust, we could search his room in London.
Where does he live?
The Marbury Guest House.
I'll see you there.
Yes, but start without me. First of all, I have to sort out a few details for Cust's transfer.
I understand. À bientôt.
À bientôt.
Hastings, we are making good progress. Please go and search the room of our number one suspect.
With pleasure. I did have a dentist appointment, but I'll cancel.
The dentist. So that is why you were so nervous and bad-tempered.
A visit to the dentist is never an enjoyable prospect.
But an unavoidable one. Go to your appointment, Hastings. I will manage on my own.
Vale, genial.
To Marbury Guest House, please.
Vamos a dejar el capítulo abierto, que ya hemos hecho bastante, ¿de acuerdo? Hemos hecho mucho rato, pero han sido temas de los puzzles y demás, y dejaron un punto que más o menos ya hubiéramos avanzado. Tenemos detenido a Alexander Bonaparte Cust y hemos salvado a el D. Vamos a investigar dónde vive el asesino. El asesino nos lo están trayendo, pero de momento vamos a investigar en su casa. Eso lo haremos en el próximo capítulo. Espero que os haya gustado el capítulo de hoy. Un placer estar con todos vosotros aquí. Torre 22 de los 80 nos veremos muy pronto. Hasta luego, gente. Chao.